Episode 1141, and we are live in Southwest Florida. Not in my studio today, we're outside. We have a special guest, baby Bjorn, but I'm not sure if he's going to stay with us or not. Let me go grab him real quick. He's being a little bit of a scaredy cat. Let me see what's going on. Come here, sugar.
This chicken's gonna be perfect. You can describe it all day long, but you gotta taste it to understand it. This chicken's gonna be perfect. You can describe it all day long, but you gotta taste it to understand it. This chicken's gonna be perfect. You can describe it all day long, but you gotta taste it to understand it.
I think he's scared. I'm going to have to take him in. I'm sorry, guys. I'll be right back. You want to go in, baby? Are you sure? Okay. Hey, that's the beauty of life. That's the beauty of pets, right? You really can't determine how things are going to go with them, but that's okay. It's kind of fun too. Hello, welcome back. Happy Monday. Hopefully you've had a good weekend, had a good day so far. Got a few things to show you today. Yeah, Bjorn was not feeling it right now. Absolutely not. I thought he would, but he was like, nope, not into it. But we had been outside for a while, so he did get some fresh air already. He likes to go in and out. He doesn't like to stay out for too long. However, I will say, since I've moved our chairs behind the RV back towards the fence, he does feel more relaxed back here, and we do spend more time outside now that it's a little quieter. But just to prove you wrong with animals, little kids, and live, right? No matter what you say is the norm, it's going to be different when you try to show people. Yes, it is afternoon here. I had to reschedule the show because I had a meeting this morning with my chef boss, and we were going to a really beautiful fancy home to discuss a big party coming up for them next month. We're doing a big birthday party there with lots of delicious food and flowers and decorations and all sorts of good stuff, and music and DJ and all sorts, not DJ. Anyway, we had a meeting over there for about an hour this morning, and it was starting at 9, so it made sense to just move up the show and not stress about being late. How's everybody doing so far today? Let's see. Hi, Mariana, Lois, Judy, Joe, Chris, Edna, Patricia, Tammy, Sharon. Yeah. See quite a few people here so far. Hopefully, hi Judy, hopefully this time works for everybody. Oh, good. Bjorn didn't want to be on camera today, so we have another special guest here real quick. Look who's here. Do you want to pull up a chair and chat for a couple minutes or no?
I gotta go grab my stuff.
You gotta go?
But I just want to come say hi.
Well, you can sit down if you want. Then your head won't be cut off. You gonna say hi for a minute?
Wow, this is crazy. I feel like I haven't been on here in a while. Yeah.
You have it. Oh, can I tell them what happened with you and me this morning?
Whatever. Oh, yeah.
Well, you want to tell them?
No, go ahead.
You know, those of you that have adult children or teenage to adult children, you'll appreciate this. Today was, I think, the first day you've ever complimented me on my style or my outfit.
Yeah.
Like,
Let me see him.
Isn't that seriously cool?
Let me see it.
So I've been trying to get Marlon to help me reinvent my style for when I go to meetings like I went to today. When I go to meetings in representing a 3-star Michelin chef for fine dining catering, I really wanted to look put together and not try to compete with the clients, right? Because
yeah.
I'm not going to be able to compete with them in their type of style and their level of luxury. So we had been talking, I said, what do you think if I went to old school Nike Jordan shoes, the stuff that I wore in the 80s? He goes, what'd you say? That would be fire.
It would be fire.
I don't talk like that. He talks like that. So he helped me pick out these sneakers online. What are they? Nike Jordan, Nike Jordan Low, right?
Yeah, Jordan 1 lows.
Nike
yeah.
Jordan 1 Low.
Pretty much low dunks is what
Low
they're called.
dunks, yeah. So we came up with that, and I thought that with flared jeans would give it more of a dressier look, especially since the jeans are dark denim and flared. I thought they'd look more like dress pants, and then with my sheer flowy blouses that I like.
Yeah.
So that's the way we reinvented my style for culinary meetings.
Yeah.
So thanks, Marlon, and it's
course.
Marlon approved too. So isn't that
approved.
cool?
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
So, you definitely needed to update your shoes. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Judy put the link.
Yeah, I shared a pair of them on Amazon. I think I bought mine directly from Nike because of the delivery date, because I needed them in time for a meeting. But yeah, that's you can see them on Amazon. Also, what do you think of the new rug?
I like it. I just noticed it. Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, so I'll back the camera up. When I moved our chairs back here, our rug was not lasting from the last house. It was like an indoor-outdoor, so I bought a completely outdoor rug that looks like artificial grass. Bjorn loves to roll around on it, which I figured would, and I thought it looked really cute back here. So you can find that on my Amazon shop as well. They had them at Home Depot, but for like 3 times the price. They were probably a taller pile of artificial grass, but I don't know why my phone keeps doing that.
You good?
Oh, Chris, you consult your daughter for style all the time too. Yeah, isn't it amazing when you finally do get their stamp of approval? So exciting.
I gotta head out, but I'll come
Okay,
back.
bye, sweetheart. Yeah, you come right back, okay?
Yeah, I will.
All right, bye, honey.
Bye.
All right, Marlon's saying goodbye to everybody too. All right, so does anybody have any questions about any of that? I'm gonna sit in the shade. It's a little cooler in the shade, or at least with a little partial shade. Yeah, Marlon left. Oh yeah, Tammy, teaching your children to be good people and kind. Yes, that was always the #1 goal I had in raising Marlon, especially outside the home. I'd always rather he be behaved outside the home than inside the home. That was always my goal. But it is nice when they come back around to you too. Oh, that's great, Chris. That's great. Hi, Lori. All right, so you may have seen a new pattern come out yesterday, and that is the Amore crochet cowl. This is meant to look similar to the aqua knit cowl that I released earlier this month, within a week or two. What's the weather today? Went down to 50 last night, but I'm guessing it's around 80 right now. It doesn't feel like it's in the 70s. It feels much warmer than that. So, but I can't check the weather while we're live, so I don't know for sure. But anyway, a lot of you had requested that I do a crochet version of the knit cowl, and so this is a crochet version with an elongated stitch in between chevron stitches to create that wavy effect. I did it in the same exact yarn, the Hobie Friends Cotton 8/8, which is a DK weight cotton yarn, and I did this one in a 10 color pack, just like I did the knit one as well. So I did a lot of things similar. Obviously this is crochet instead of knit, but it uses the same 10 balls of yarn. I just did a different colorway. Isn't this pretty? This would be pretty for Valentine's Day for sure. Got pinks and purples, but honestly good for any time. And I kept all the purples together and then did all the pinks together and then repeated all 10 stripes a second time. You can get this pattern with chart on my website. It's a super easy stitch pattern. you're using single crochet, two together, and double treble crochet. It's 70 in Naples right now. Okay, thanks. Yeah, it's cooler in the shade than it is in the sun, but yeah, it's lovely. It's actually really lovely outside, and I'd like to spend some time outside today. So I can try it on now, show you. You can see all the photos on the pattern page. I think Judy shared the link. Thank you. So you could wear it. You could wear it like this. But if I back up, can you see more? I might need to put the legs up. My tripod might just need to be a little taller today. Let's try one more leg. Try that. Here, let's try that. See how that goes. Alrighty, so you can see that obviously it's a twisted Mobius. You don't have to do the twist if you don't want, but it's super cute with the twist. You want me to go in the sun so you can see it better? And go this way. There we go. All right, and so it's long enough that you can double it and wear it like this, which is also super cute and a great way to keep warm if it's still cold where you live. And then it is wide enough as well that you can wear it like a capelet also. So let's get that situated. Now the crochet one is a little heavier than the knit one just by nature, because crochet takes more yarn than knitting, right? So if you felt you needed it, you could also take one of our butterfly clips. I'm going to start with the butterfly clip here. You remember these? Yeah, you do the twist when you're seaming, that's correct. Which means you have the option all the way up until that point to twist it or not twist it. But look at how nice it looks twisted if you wear it down as a capelet. That's where I really like the twist. I like how it lays flat in the front. There we go. So you can adjust it. You could probably do it without the clip. I just feel like it's a little bit heavier than the knit one. So I like clipping it just to make sure that it stays. But isn't that great? Super cute. Thank you. And the colors are fabulous, aren't they? I love the colors. Okay, and then remember last week when we had a conversation about using self-striping yarn in motifs and how we may or may not like the way it turned out. I love, love, love the way it turned out. This pattern is not available yet. It'll be coming soon, but I have a bodysuit underneath this blouse, so I can take it off and try this on for you. It's at first glance you may think that it looks cropped, but it's not. It's right to your like waistband, hip bones area because of the ribbing, and because the sleeves are actually really long, and the sleeves are most of the body. How incredibly gorgeous is this? I am so happy with the way this turned out. I love the randomness of the way the color changes. This is in Knit Picks Brava Stripe. Remember we talked about it last week? And I use square motifs and half motifs. I was able to get this done in 5 balls of that yarn. Remember, that's all I had. So that determined how large of a project I was going to make. This took all 5 balls to make the motifs, and then I used a coordinating solid color for the waistband, for the sleeve cuffs, and for the neckband. But how incredibly cute is this, right? So it is reversible. You could decide which side you like better from front to back, because remember, we did not choose where the color changed. So you could decide that you like it this way or the other way. It's totally reversible from front to back. I kept my neck opening quite wide because, you know, I love to wear things off the shoulder, and you do have the option of doing it off the shoulder or centering it on your shoulders. If you wanted it to be tighter, you could do more rounds of the neckband. You could also make 2 chain ties at the shoulder seams and tie it right here, and that would hold the neckline up too. And that way you would have options, like if sometimes you wanted to wear it wide and sometimes you wanted it to stay up more securely, then by tying it you could adjust that as well. But I am so excited with the randomness of the color changes. What do you think? Like, remember we were talking about this kind of stuff where we thought, oh, I don't know if I like how the color changes. But remember that how I said though, once it's done and it's on and you're not micro analyzing it because you're not right in front of it like that, you can see that it looks a lot, it's a lot less noticeable, and the randomness is actually really, really beautiful. You really love this, but you're only 4'11". Yes, you could adjust your gauge in your motifs. You could make your motif smaller or larger, and that's something that I will talk about in the pattern, is that you could work one less round, one more round, and adjust this, or work with your gauge to make your motif smaller or larger, to make it bigger or short, to make it smaller or larger. But because of the size of the motifs, it wouldn't be a practical design to actually size by number of motifs, because these are 9 inches wide. By doing that, we would have to adjust our size by 18 inches, and that's just not practical. You don't want 18-inch gaps between sizes. Absolutely, you could use a lighter weight yarn and make smaller motifs. Yes, you could use, in fact, this yarn comes in lighter, even this yarn specifically comes in lighter weights. You know, it'll be more complicated to adjust the number of motifs than it would be to adjust the size of your motifs, and that's something that I'll discuss in the pattern, and something we'll take a deep dive in when I release my motif class. But super cute. I love, love, love how it turned out. And if you haven't already signed up for the wait list for that class, you can. It's on my website, and then you'll be notified when it becomes available. Still working on it in the background, as well as working on new patterns and all this good stuff. You can find the Amore crochet cowl now. It's on my website, just like the knit one. You can get this pattern with charts now, and this one will be coming soon. I don't have this one named yet either, but like I said, it's not even available yet. I just came outside to do the photo shoot and little videos and a tutorial on blocking this morning, which will all be released when the pattern's available. So next step will be tech editing, finishing up the pattern, tech editing, editing the photos and videos, and then hopefully releasing the pattern possibly later this week. Have I made a video for the Best Buds crochet shrug? Knit pattern. I can't decide if you said knit or crochet. I don't recall. I don't recall off the top of my head. Yeah, the randomness turned out to be way cooler than I anticipated. I can't remember which side I like better. I'm going to turn it around again. Let's see. Because obviously it's reversible, right? But it looks different on both sides because the motifs are going to have different color changes on both sides. Now, if you are wanting to get more control over the randomness, which I know some of you will, you could not put the motifs together until you decide. See how some of them have more white, some of them have more of the darker raspberry. Like you could try to alternate the light to dark a little better. Like I said, I really wanted to push the conversation and really do it as randomly as possible. So I really just went in order, just as it came out of the ball, and joined it to the very next motif. I tried not to plan the locations, and I wanted to show you that would be the most random it would possibly look. So then from there, you have the choice to say, oh, I love it, I hate it, whatever. Then you have the conversation so that you can see that you could place them better if you wanted to as well. Again, I love the way it turned out, and I love the process, and I loved the anticipation and the mystery of crocheting it and putting it together and not knowing what it would look like either. That was really fun for me, but you know, to each his own. Not everybody enjoys the same level of mystery when they're crocheting. Does anybody have any other questions? If I have an answer, I'll share it. Thank you. Yeah, I love these colors. Love them. Pinks, purples, and turquoises. Those are my colors. Those are my favorite colors anyway. Wait and see if there's any questions. Yeah, I agree, Sylvestra. I think that makes it more unique. Yes. Marlon approved? I don't know. He hasn't seen it. You know, I don't live with Marlon anymore, so he doesn't see everything that I do on a daily basis. He only sees things that I truly share with him, or things that he sees online, I guess. We don't share every aspect of our everyday life anymore, which is definitely been hard for me, probably hard for him too, whether he would admit it or not, but you know, just different. Yeah, we don't live together anymore this year. Oh, it doesn't even feel good to say it. You know, it wasn't by choice. That was the problem. You know, we had so many things happen to us this year that were out of our control, and that's why. Thank you, Jagmeet. I appreciate it. I guess if it was in your control, maybe it would, if it was your choice, it'd be different, but it wasn't. And I'm, you know, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But as far as the tutorial videos go for recent patterns, I will check later today, but I have a feeling I haven't done many tutorial videos recently, so it's possible that the one that somebody asked about is just on my list of tutorial videos that I need to do. I know there's a lot of patterns that could use them right now. Oh, and someone was asking what weight yarn this is. Judy did share a link to the yarn. This is Brava Worsted Stripe by Knit Picks, and it is a number 4 worsted weight yarn. And if somebody was asking about this one, because I don't always know what questions are meant for when we're live, because you could be asking a question from something I showed 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago, or something that I'm showing right now. And this one here is, in Hobie Yarns Friends Cotton 8/8, and that is their number 3 DK weight cotton yarn. Thanks, Dawn. Yeah, and this one's acrylic, so if you wanted to do something fancy, do it in a fancier yarn, you absolutely could. You could do it in anything from alpaca to silk, cotton, bamboo, whatever. You could make it in any fiber you want. Some fibers, more expensive fibers, have better drape, obviously, but I actually don't think that it has horrible drape. I did steam block it today, and I don't think it's super bulky or stiff. I like the way it came out, but you all know that different fibers have different aesthetics, so you could make it in any yarn, and it doesn't have to be in multicolor yarn either. You could do this in a solid color and it would be beautiful as well. Same goes for this. That stitch pattern would be beautiful in a solid color too. And in fact, if you were concerned about wanting to show more of a striping effect, first of all, alternating between single crochet and double treble crochet is a stripe in texture, so it does have a stripe to it. If that wasn't enough for you, you could also choose to work all of your rows through the back loop only to show that ridge, and that ridge would give you more texture to create more of a stripe if you were doing this in a solid color and wanted it to be to have more texture. That's great, Lori. Yeah, because you know what happens is if you don't block your garments and you don't know what your gauge is, your blocked gauge is before you make garments, you'll know how that happens. And I remember my grandma made me a sweater when I was a kid, and good thing it was in the 80s and we wore things oversized back then. She made me a sweater. It fit fine. My mom washed it, and the sweater was double in size, and that's because she did not know about blocking. And sometimes people get confused about the word blocking. Basically, it's understanding how your project is or your garment is going to react to water. And as long as you're making things that you need to wear, you need to know how it reacts to water, because what happens when we wear things? They get dirty and they have to get washed. I mean, if you were never going to wash something, that's one thing, but as long as you're going to wear something and it's going to get dirty, which it is, and you're going to wash it, you need to know how it's going to react to water to know what the proper size will be once you start wearing it and washing it. So yeah, that's one of the most, it's one thing to just be a process crafter. A process crafter is something that I describe as someone that just likes the process of knitting and crochet. They don't care if they ever wear anything they make. They don't care if they keep it, donate it. And if that's the type of crafter you are, it's not nearly as important to you to do your swatches or know what your blocked gauge is. However, if you plan on giving things to people to wear or keeping things to wear yourself, that's when it really does become very important. Not even a little bit important, it becomes very important. Why? Because it could end up being not wearable, right? If you don't know your gauge and you go to make something that's supposed to fit, it could either be so small it doesn't fit over your head or wrap around your chest, or it could be so big that the sleeves come out past your fingertips, or you're swimming in something, not intentionally, right? These are oversized sleeves, but that was a design element to this project. Hi, Carrie. Does that make sense? Should we have more of this conversation? Does anybody have any questions about gauge and blocking and how and why and all that good stuff? I often get asked also, do I have to reblock things when I rewash them? It never actually changes the gauge like it does the first time, because it's that first time when you see how your yarn and your tension is affected by water that the fibers relax. Most of the time it keeps very close to that size throughout the wear, but unless you've, treated it roughly, hung it on a hanger so it dragged, things can get warped, and they can get warped if they're used improperly or stored improperly. I have lots of videos on blocking. You can search that on my channel. There's a lot. I feel like there's even a playlist about it. But what was I saying? But I get asked all the time, what about when I rewash something multiple times over the lifetime of it? I think what's important to do is to reshape it at that point. So let's say you hand wash or you machine wash on delicate in a laundry bag, which I would prefer most things handmade to be hand washed, because I just feel like there's less manipulation of the fabric. Anytime you have a machine involved, you're not being as gentle as you are with your hands. So if you can hand wash something, I feel like you have more control over things not getting stuck or snagged or caught inside the machine. And then when you lay something flat to dry, you can reshape it, right? Make sure the shoulders are both the same symmetry and that the arms have the same symmetry. Make sure that the waistband is straight across the bottom. Easy stuff, right? You know what the shape of a sweater is supposed to look like. You know what it's supposed to look like. So you just want to reshape it while it's drying. Now, garments again are double layer. So when you're drying, you also want to try to keep that air circulating so that it dries faster. The longer something sits wet, the less, if something was going to stay wet for days and days, it could even mold or mildew, and we don't want that to happen either. So the quicker we can dry something, the healthier it is for the fibers as well. And so ceiling fans, circulating air, that's a circulating fan, any type of circulating air will speed up the drying process. Warmer air will speed up the drying process. And because it's double thickness, I would consider flipping it from time to time to make sure that you're evenly drying both sides as well. Now, if you've squeezed out the excess water with towels, chances are your item won't be super saturated wet when you go to start drying it, but anything you can do to squeeze out the extra water without wringing it, you will have a shorter drying time also. Some say blocking acrylic items do not stay put. It just depends. It depends on your tension. If you crochet something with a really tight tension and the fibers are really stiff, they're not going to react nearly as much in water as something that has a loose gauge where you have the ability to block, you know, for it to stretch out. Like when we're doing lace. When we're doing lace, we often use a much larger crochet hook or knitting needle than the original suggested range on the ball band, and that's because we want the water to relax. We want that tension to be loose so that when we add the water, it stretches out and we get more negative space to show the lace. When you're doing something with a tighter tension, there isn't as much give in your tension, and then the water doesn't react as strongly in water. Does that make sense? And yes, some fibers absorb water better than others. Acrylic does not absorb water as well or as quickly as animal fibers and cotton and things like that. So you have that component as well. And you know, every yarn's different, every project is different, so it could be motifs, it could be texture, it could be lace, depending on the project. That may have something to do, plus then the fiber content could have something to do with how it reacts with water and how it reacts with reshaping. So there are lots of components, and you just have to, you know, make the best choices you can with whatever components you have in your project. But yeah, animal fibers have more memory in the fiber than synthetics. So when you block a lace shawl that's made in wool or cashmere or alpaca, it will hold its shape better than something in acrylic, generally speaking. But I hate making statements like that, because as soon as you do, there's always an exception to every rule too. But great questions, everybody. Does anybody have any other questions? Poor baby Bjorn missed going outside. There he is. I'm just getting ready to sign off. You want to come say goodbye to everybody? Sure. Alrighty. Want to pull up a chair?
Sure.
Alright, we have a special guest again. Surprise, Marlon's back. Where are you headed today, sweetheart?
About to go play some tennis, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice to hear he's playing tennis?
Yep.
Haven't heard that in a while.
Yeah, playing with a guy who used to play D1 tennis, so I'm excited. I'm gonna win, but I'm excited.
Of course you are.
Gotta have that winner mentality, you know?
I can't remember if I told everybody that you're going to be working with Chef and me sometimes too.
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah, you're going to be working a party with us this week.
This week and then in March.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm
that's
excited.
fun too.
Yeah.
You're gonna listen. You're gonna listen to your mom finally.
Yes. Indeed. Not that I don't already.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck playing tennis today.
Adios.
All right. I want to hear all about it.
Bye.
Bye, sweetheart. Mwah. I love you too.
Adios.
All right. Have a good day.
Thank you. I'll call you later.
Okay. Sounds good. I believe I've shown you the prickly pear back here, but you want to see the flowers today? There's a whole bunch of them out there today. And then we'll start wrapping it up. I'm going to go get some more patterns and videos worked on today. Oh, hi Picasso and Erica. You see some of the flowers? Aren't they beautiful? The colors are so pretty, aren't they? Yes, Marlon is a sweetheart. He sure is. Thank you. All right. He is a sweetheart. Yes, Angela. And that's my baby. He and baby Bjorn are my babies. All right. Well, if you decide you have any other questions today, always feel welcome to come back and pop them into the comments on the video. I do get notified and have the ability to answer questions from there as well. If you have other subjects you want me to cover on future episodes, or questions like topics you want me to cover on future episodes, always feel welcome to share that too. You guys are just as important as I am when it comes to this show. It wouldn't be a show if we didn't have all this interaction and have you here. So thanks for your input, and thanks for participating and being part of the conversation, because I think it's so special when we get to have conversations. I mean, I have years and years of experience that I like to share, but it doesn't matter if it's not content, if it's not topics that interest you and that you want to learn. So that's always cool too. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow for the next episode. In the meantime, have a wonderful day. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Oops.